and then we will go ahead with outline agreements. So let's try to understand what is an outline agreement, what are the types of outline agreements, how we use outline agreements for the purpose of procuring materials. As you know, an outline agreement represents a long-term arrangement made with the vendor to procure a certain material or a service at a certain price over a given period of time. So outline agreement means it's nothing but a long-term arrangement. When I say long-term arrangement, you should have a fixed start date and fixed ending date. Okay, so this agreement covers the requirements of a certain material or a period of time, right? Such kinds of agreements are called outline agreements. The advantage or the purpose of this agreement is within this period you can refer the agreement which is made for a certain material or a certain service, and you can access those conditions negotiated, say a month back, a year back, or 2 years back, or 5 years back, depending upon the validity period that you specify in the agreement. That's the advantage of defining outline agreements. Okay, outline agreements are of two types. One is contract, the other one is scheduling agreement. So what do you mean by contract? A contract is nothing but, again, it's a type of outline agreement wherein you specify how much quantity is required for a certain material in a given period of time. You will just say the total quantity required for a certain material even in a given period of time. You don't specify when do you require how much quantity. You know what? They are called delivery schedules. So the delivery schedules information is not maintained in the contract. Therefore, for the material, whenever you require it, whenever there is a need for that material, you still have to raise an order with reference to the contract. Therefore, that order is called as release order. So the primary difference between, okay, this we will see it later, the difference between scheduling agreement and the contract. Okay, so primarily contract is nothing but it's a quantity of a material to be procured in a given specified period of time with the agreed or the negotiated prices and terms. These prices and terms, they are valid for the entire period within which you have made this contract. The contract contains total quantity or total value but does not contain any release information or does not contain any delivery information. Therefore, whenever you require a material, you still have to raise an order with reference to contract, and such agreement is called as contract. Contracts are of two types. One is called quantity contract. The second one is called value contract. What do you mean by a quantity contract? A quantity contract simply contains total quantity requirement of a certain material in a given period of time with the stipulated or negotiated terms and conditions for that material within this period of time. Whereas the other type of contract is called value contract. A value contract is nothing but instead of total quantity requirement, you specify total value requirement for the period of time within which you are defining the contract. Typically, AMCs, annual maintenance contracts. For example, you have a computer lab in your office, okay, which might require some sort of service from the organization from whom you have taken the machines, that is laptops or desktops, whatever they could be. So you will have some kind of annual maintenance contract for say 100,000 INR or 10 lakhs INR, something like that. So between that period, within that period, so whatever the service in such contracts, the amount is paid to the vendor based on the value. So we will see both quantity and value contract.